Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's another bot author recommended replay. So someone looked at this match, said, hey, that's pretty cool, and now here we are casting it. So it's going to be Sharkbot, one of the top Protoss bots, a very turtley bot, going to be taking on 27Turtles. A Terran bot that's got good macro fundamentals and whatnot. Plays mech from what I recall, and a bit more passively. So we're going to see how well it can do against Sharkbot today, as Sharkbot might be a bit of a challenge for it, but we shall see. And so, of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this match, make sure to go ahead and click that like button if we can hit, I don't know, let's go with 36 likes on this video. That would be amazing. Of course, leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot games. You guys always blow it out of the water in the comments down below. And that goes a long way to helping us with the YouTube bot, the YouTube algorithm, which is definitely another beast of its own. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up these bots' descriptions so we can sort of see what languages they are. And yeah, so hold on, just pulling those up. So Sharkbot is a .NET core bot. I'm a chatbot that has ventured into gaming and now Starcraft 2, which is why Sharkbot is a bit of a chatterbox in some of the games. And yeah, so there's actually a chatbot of Sharkbot that you can talk to online. Just some achievements basically saying that it is the highest rank, or it was the highest ranked Protoss bot in SC2A. It doesn't say the year, but yeah, Sharkbot's been one of the best Protoss bots out there for a while. And then saying, I am a hybrid scripted machine learning bot. I use machine learning to determine which build to use. Sometimes my creator turns that learning off because he's afraid I'll get smarter than him. Now, we've got a Reaper for 27Turtles coming into the main base. Probe actually did die. Pardon me for not observing where that was. And if you guys do want to let me know in the comments down below whether you want me to keep reading off these bot biographies. I think they're definitely interesting. However, of course, it does make me miss the first couple minutes of the game. At the same time, it's StarCraft 2, so there's not necessarily anything too crazy going on. If it's a macro game. If it's a cheesy game, I'm definitely not going to have time to read them off. Looks like the Reaper for 27Turtles is being a bit of a nuisance. The Adepts for Sharkbot are trying to shade after it and kill it, but so far it is doing a good job staying alive, getting lots of scouting off. Behind this, 27Turtles has its bunker up, or getting a bunker up. Starport as well, just macroing away. Sharkbot, though, is doing the same. Looks like this Reaper may actually get another probe, so the Reaper control of 27Turtles is being pretty darn good. Is it going to get even another? No, it's going to get chased away, which is important for Sharkbot. But yeah, it's a nice opener from 27Turtles. That probe is regenerating its shield, so it should be fine. And now I'll actually take a sec to read 27Turtles' description. It says, a small bot with big ambitions and a bigger ego. Turtles plays a semi-reactive style, community tools used, and it's a Python bot. So short and sweet for the description. But yeah, 27Turtles is an interesting bot to watch. Looks like the Reaper is going to get out of there. Still staying alive, though. It's taken the long way around to get behind that natural, and it does go down in the end. So Sharkbot doesn't have to worry about that anymore. The Adept is constantly shading behind this base, although that's not really amounting to too much. Meanwhile, there is an SCV that's really slacking for 27Turtles. That SCV has got to get to work at some point. Meanwhile, there's double Liberator production for the Terran bot, which isn't something we see every game. So I'm wondering if we are going to see these be utilized for harassment or if they're just for defensive purposes. It could always be incorporated into a push. Now, as I say that, though, Sharkbot is kind of making the right units to be anti-Liberator, firing out 3 Stalkers. The Warp Prism is going to be crossing the map. This is going to be a good test for the defense of 27Turtles, which doesn't really have anything inside its main base. Tries to double build a supply depot, which is something only bots can do, is try and overlap their own buildings. Looks like this Prism is shading into the main base, going to immediately, escort those Stalkers into the main, as they've already got Blink. A Liberator is moving out for some harassment, so it's going to be double Liberator harassment, which is very strong. Now, 27Turtles has got to deal with these Stalkers in its main base while this is going on. Most of the buffer is going down, which is actually quite problematic. If those Stalkers elected to Blink on top of that tank, I think they'd be able to get it. Of course, programming lethality into your bot is not an easy thing to do. The Prism is trying to juggle those Stalkers to dodge the tank shots, but not quite decisive enough for Sharkbot. Now there's 2 tanks. Those Stalkers will just be annihilated, and all of a sudden, here comes those Liberators showing on up. Sharkbot is going to have a tough time dealing with this, as Liberators, I imagine, are not something easy to deal with. Well, to program a response to. Looks like that Stalker goes down, the Adept gets deleted. Meanwhile, this Liberator at the natural base unfortunately didn't set up properly. It's still going to get a decent number of kills before going down, and this one in the main base is still causing problems. 22, 23, and rising probes going down. Looks like the Stalkers will show up to respond to this. The injured ones do blink on out of there. It is really good for Sharkbot, though, that 27Turtles didn't quite place that other one in as good of a position. Now, Sharkbot, though, it does still have the 3rd base up, so it can produce lots more probes. Still, though, 27Turtles is in quite a nice economic position. It's at 51 FCVs to 38. It's getting its own 3rd base up, and it's still got out 3 siege tanks, which should help it deal with any potential attacks from Sharkbot. Although 27Turtles definitely does need to get a bit more of a buffer going. There is lots of Marines and tanks on the way. I'm concerned about mass Marines from 27Turtles, though, because Sharkbot is going into Colossus, which can be very lethal in these bot matches. And that 3rd base is slowly getting saturated up for Sharkbot. Still, though, a really great start for the red Terran bot. And we're even seeing a 4th base go up, which is very economically focused for 27Turtles. More and more Marines are being produced. Looks like it is actually going to move out for an attack. There should be a Colossus out before that attack gets too well established, although it's still 20 seconds off, and other than that Colossus, it's just 10 Stalkers, an Adept, and a Prism. Sharkbot is warping in 4 Zealots very slowly, albeit these Marines' combat shield just finished up for them. Stimpack is momentarily done. The tanks are starting to get set up now, and the tanks really will be a large part of the problem for Sharkbot. They could even potentially kill the Colossus. Marines are just walking forward, keeping the Stalkers busy. It does look like, though, that the Marines and the tanks were a little bit disjointed, which did allow Sharkbot to clean up a large part of this army. The tanks are now unsieged and are actually going to skedaddle on out of there. Sharkbot saying 10 kills with this. I don't know what actually got 10 kills. Is it a stalk? It can't be a Stalker with 10 kills. Yeah, there's no way. No way. So I don't know what got 10 kills. Maybe the Prism, maybe the Stalkers collectively. I don't know. Still, though, 27Turtles is producing a decent amount of stuff. It's got even army supply compared to its opponent. Marauders on the way is very important, as that will help out. Sharkbot, however, is staying alive, getting up that 4th base. 27Turtles is moving on out. If the tanks can get sieged into a good position, who knows, maybe it could get this Nexus, and they are sieged up. It looks like the Terran bot is a little bit afraid, and losing that high ground vision is incredibly problematic, as it just gives up all those siege tanks for basically nothing. Very nice pickoff for Sharkbot, as 27Turtles struggles with having that high ground vision. The Terran bot is still on a very strong economy, 71 FCVs to 55 probes, which is quite a lead for 27Turtles. Still, though, it may need to start taking some better trades. As I say that, though, resources lost is quite even, mainly because of all those probe deaths early on. And 27Turtles, it is producing lots of starports. This is a time where I bring up why this match may be a little wonky, though, because the bot author, in their little blurb where they recommended this match, they actually said 27Turtles had a buggy update pushed before this match was played out, so it's not actually going to make Vikings this match, which apparently makes it an interesting one. So just mass bio on the way. It means that I guess the Terran bot does have more starports than it may need. No medivacs are on the way, or, well, pardon me, there's already a couple medivacs out. So 27Turtles does at least have that, but still no Vikings against Sharkbot could be really problematic, as it likes to make Colossus and then air units after that. So we'll see 27Turtles is just firing up more factories, more barracks. That is definitely one way to play StarCraft 2. It looks like DTs are trying to harass. That turret is going to zone out that prism, though, so the DT does just get killed off. No 5th base for 27Turtles yet, so it has really allowed Sharkbot to catch back up in the economy. The Terran bot does have a Raven. It's got more siege tanks out. Still taking an engagement against what will be 4 Colossus will not be easy. Even though 27Turtles is making 5 Marauders at a time, I'm still a little bit concerned, and the lack of Vikings very well may hurt it. Looks like the Prism does get killed from behind. Tanks really are the best anti-Colossus tech that 27Turtles has right now. It's really going to depend how well they're set up. These Colossus, though, are getting some really big shots off on that Terran army. Anti-armor missile does really soften up these Zealots and Stalkers. Still, though, the Colossus remain alive, and 27Turtles, I don't believe, was fighting with 100% of its army there. It still takes an okay trade. I do think that things are going to get worse instead of better for the Terran bot, though. No 5th base is on the way for 27Turtles yet either. That's something I'd really love to see as soon as possible. SCVs, can they not get in there? Yeah, it looks like SCVs and the turret are blocking mining from taking place on this one mineral patch, so that's messing with the mining of 27Turtles a little bit. Meanwhile, it's 10 Marines, 2-2 upgrades on the way. 27Turtles will have an upgrade lead with those being produced. But then Sharkbot, I mean, it's investing in all this tech. Immortals, Disruptors, High Templar are going to be on the way. The Terran bot is moving on out. Once again, it's got 4 siege tanks with 3 more at a time on the way. The higher the tank count, the better this shall be. Marauders and Bio are just running forward right towards this 3rd base as Sharkbot's army is out of position, so probes just get pulled into the thick of it. The battery overcharge helps keep some of them alive. Now tanks are in an okay position, though, to shell this army. The Colossus are trying to walk down the ramp, which may not be optimal pathing, as they are wandering into these tanks. One of them does go down. Still, though, Sharkbot is successfully collapsing on top of this army, and with those tanks cleaned up, there is still 4 Colossus, which can definitely cut through this bio. 27Turtles still takes an okay fight there, though. Must have killed at least another 20 workers, and while this is going on, Marines are now hitting the 4th base of Sharkbot, so that's some good work getting done. However, once the Colossus show up, they do all get dealt with, so it's kind of a game of whack-a-mole for Sharkbot. As long as it's in the right position, it won't have a hard time dealing with this Terran army. There's now a Tempest on the way for Sharkbot. A 5th base is done and established, so as long as Sharkbot has a bit of time, it can rebuild all those probes. That's exactly what it's doing. Meanwhile, 27Turtles is still just on. It's still just on 4 bases. It's been probably, I don't know, like 3 to 5 minutes since it's taken an expansion, which is a little bit concerning. The Terran bot isn't exactly super oversaturated yet. It does seem, though, that the turrets are messing with the mining a little bit, though, so maybe that's some positioning that needs to be corrected. It's not at every base, just at some of the bases, it seems. 27Turtles is still at a very nice supply lead with 187 supply to 143. There is, yeah, so about a 40 army supply lead in total, and 2-2 upgrades are done as well, with 3-3 on the way, so the upgrades are definitely going to help out the Terran. There's now going to be a 5th base on the way, and the Terran bot does have 6 siege tanks out this time. The more tanks, the better. There's also mass Liberators joining this force. Liberators are no joke, as they're just about as difficult to deal with from a programming perspective as siege tanks. Still, though, Sharkbot is building into its lethal composition. Carriers, Colossus, +1 air on the way, cinnamon spice and everything nice. Sharkbot definitely is a big spender when it comes to all the tech that it invests in. It's probably partly why it's been taking a while to get that army supply back up. Still, though, the Protoss bot has really shot its economy back up, being up at 88 workers, taking the lead, I think, for the first time in this game. Looks like 27Turtles is moving forward, just going for it. Liberators are actually setting up right on top of this army. I don't know if that's the right approach, but they do seem to be having some success. Disruptors and Psystorm are just getting right on top of the bio. Still, though, the Liberators are getting some really nice shots off, and these Colossus are actually in a bit of trouble. They've killed pretty much everything but the Colossus, which are being escorted by the Prism. The carrier does show up to help deal with this. There is tanks on the ground. Looks like the one Tempest stays alive for now, as there's only a few Marines left alive on the ground, and 27Turtles seems to want to retreat at this point, which I'm not sure is the right decision. I think it maybe could have taken that fight further. This is going to give Sharkbot time to rebuild, as the Terran bot does just say, all right, I'm heading on home. At least behind this 27Turtles is now, it's now taking more expansions, which it's really interesting with some of these bots. Some of these bots, sometimes they'll just pause expanding for like upwards of 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, three expansions, please. So it is interesting how some of them go about that. We do have tanks sieged on the ground. Unfortunately, they are not very good at shooting on up, as they just can't reach that high. Looks like a DT, I think, just tried to blink on top of the tanks. The ground army is still having a really hard time for Sharkbot, as disruptors wander forward into the tanks. That's a bit of an awkward situation. The disruptor will be killed. 27Turtles is lacking anti-air in this match, though, as the Marauders aren't really helping out with that. There's only 18 Marines and I guess the 4 Liberators as anti-air. So if Sharkbot does reach that like 200 maxed out air army, it's going to be very difficult. We are seeing the Terran bot try and come forward. 3-3 upgrades are on this bio, which is definitely helping out. It's like the carrier goes down, the Tempest is getting chased down and goes down as well. The Colossus are even starting to fall for Sharkbot. Liberators are getting set on up. Fortunately, Sharkbot is very good at juggling out of those Liberator shots, but still, all but one of those Colossus has gone down, it seems, and 27Turtles is pushing forward. Sharkbot's trying to add in tons of static defense. A Disruptor gets a massive connection for Sharkbot. A battery overcharge gets popped. That's definitely going to help keep these units alive, and the Liberator's set up on top of cannons, which isn't ideal, but man, this Colossus really is staying alive, just dodging pretty much all the shots until eventually it does get caught and goes down. Sharkbot doesn't have much left. It really is on the static defense to try and keep this Protoss bot alive. That being said, if the Protoss bot can survive a little while, it does have a really strong economy. 94 probes, that's just an absurd amount of income to replace units it's losing. Sharkbot is bottlenecked by gas a little bit, though, it seems. I mean, it's got them all pretty much taken, though, so not too big of a bottleneck, I don't think, but it definitely is having a hard time mustering a defense that can deal with all these Terran units. Some of those 90 probes are now going to be going down as they get pulled into the battle. Cannons and batteries are still doing what they can. We did have another Colossus get produced, and there's another one about to pop on out. Meanwhile, Sharkbot loses some probes, so it decides to make 7 more. 27Turtles says, all right, that was quite the fight, but I'm going to go home now, deciding that it can't take that any further. I mean, it probably could have, and this is giving Sharkbot more time than it rightfully has. So for 27Turtles' sake, holy cow, that is a hard one to say. For 27Turtles' sake, hopefully it does attack again sooner rather than later, because, I mean, Sharkbot, it's already back up to 3 Colossus, and we saw how hard those were to deal with for most of the game. More Tempest are being produced, and there's not really a single anti-air unit being made. Okay, now there's 4 Marines at a time. Bio is trying to stim after these Colossus. Sharkbot has good micro, but unfortunately it does unload those units into the danger zone, so they do get killed. That's 2 very important units that have now gone down. There is another Colossus out there. Will probably be a battery overcharge to help with this defense as well for Sharkbot. The Bio's stimming forward, though. Is there a battery overcharge? I'm not sure. Maybe it's still on cooldown. There it is, keeping that cannon alive longer than it should. The cannon does still fall, as 27Turtles is pushing on in. There's now siege tanks getting set up on this Nexus too, but a Tempest and a Zealot that's being supported by batteries may be able to deal with that. As 27Turtles has had successful attacks, but the damage from those attacks hasn't actually been that huge. This is allowing Sharkbot to hang on. There's now nothing to deal with the Tempest, it really seems. And 27 Turtles, it's making 8 Marines at a time. Maybe that's all it needs. This bio is killing off this Nexus here, so Sharkbot is really starting to finally take some damage, being at 62 probes versus the 80 of Sharkbot, versus the 80 of 27 Turtles, pardon me. The Tempest, though, are doing their work, and 27 Turtles is having a bit of a hard time dealing with these Tempest without Vikings, which it is not making, I suppose, because of that glitch that was mentioned. Still, though, definitely an interesting game, showing us that it can deal with this Protoss force without that. But now the Tempest are starting to be a nuisance, actually attacking for the first time, really, in a long time for Sharkbot. As SCVs are starting to die. Those must be like some of the first SCVs dying this game. Looks like the turret is going to be the first target. It's being repaired, but not enough, so that will actually go down. 27 Turtles isn't really reacting to this. Zealot's having a hard time dealing with this tank. I don't know what's going on there. That Zealot really needs to get to it, though. 27 Turtles, it's repositioning its army, but it's kind of just ignoring the Tempest for now, which isn't ideal. Meanwhile, we've got the Terran bot taking a base of Sharkbot that had just cleared out. Double expanding. The Zealot really is having a very difficult time. Stalker gets zoned out by the tank. Looks like a probe is actually going to help deal with this tank. Just driving on by, shooting the tank, but then getting shot by the tank. The Terran bio is trying to stim on top of this Protoss force, and it's being pretty darn successful, killing off a Tempest, killing off a Colossus. Only one Tempest remains. There is another one that has been produced, but still, the Terran force really is massive, and the bio control of 27 Turtles is quite good. It's very aggressive, so not a lot of wasted time on these units. Definitely stimming a lot, but still charging forward, pushing back the army of Sharkbot. This battery is keeping the Colossus alive for now. It doesn't micro that well enough, unfortunately, so it does die. Another Colossus does pop out. Sharkbot is back up to 86 probes, showing us that it does have that economic redundancy, and with a battery overcharge, this Colossus is staying alive. 27 Turtles is having a really tough time breaking its opponent. The Tempest in the skies are doing some good work. The Terran bot has secured some more bases, though, so it shouldn't be running out of steam just yet. I mean, this base, I wonder if the SCV building got died, because that has taken a long time to build. Now, Sharkbot, it's getting level 2 shields, level 2 air armor, as it's already got most of the other upgrades done. 3/3 armor. So that is good to see. Things are still getting better for Sharkbot. Army supply-wise, it's actually not too far from each other. A Stalker comes on in to kill off that SCV right before the command center finishes. That's a little painful for 27 Turtles. Another SCV is going to try and be a hero. It's got its work cut out for it, though. It's going to go, but no, it gets lifted up before it can finish the command center. 27 Turtles is remustering for another attack, it appears. Supply has got very, very close, though, as the Terran bot seems to have paused its spending a little bit with over 1,200 minerals in the bank, and yet it's not really making anything. Just 2 Marines right now, so I'm curious what that is. I wonder if that's supply that's supposed to be freed up for Vikings that are not being built, or tanks. Now it's making 11 Marines after losing some of this army. The Terran bio is stimming forward. There is 2 prisms to try and juggle these units, but still, just the aggression from 27 Turtles allows it to actually get on top of some of these units. Sharkbot's managing to make quite the defense happen. The Colossus positioning is really cool, staying out of the range of the Terran army. All the bio goes down, and there's no answer to the Tempest. The Tempest count, which is growing to be more troublesome, and 27 Turtles, it's maybe throwing this one away, as it hasn't pooled up enough units to deal with this Protoss force. It takes one bad fight, and all of a sudden the Colossus are just destroying it. No Vikings or anything is problematic. Now, there is still tanks being produced, which can definitely help out. 27 Turtles has got a strong economy of its own, but yeah, Sharkbot getting aggressive as well is really quite impressive. The tanks are not sieging up sort of preemptively to help out with this. The Tempest in the skies just have free reign, as there's still not enough anti-air to deal with them. And yeah, things may be falling apart for 27 Turtles. That one tank being repaired is helping zone out these Colossus. The bio being aggressive means that they are just running right on in to be sort of cut down without any support. And yeah, 27 Turtles is really just broke at this point in the game. There's even a little bit of harassment going on from a couple Stalkers. Sharkbot's pushing forward, and Wow. I honestly thought Sharkbot had lost this game, but it seems to have pulled it back once it hit that magic number of Tempest, and then it's just got the Colossus and kept them alive. That things really fell apart for 27Turtles. Definitely not having enough anti-air to deal with these Tempest, and yeah, I mean that was kind of mentioned by the bot author before sending in the replay. So props to the bot author for sending in a replay, which their bot actually lost, as that is something that that not every bot author does, but because it's cool to see all aspects of these bot games. And yeah, Sharkbot playing well. Its defense, its redundancy, it lost probes a lot, but it was still able to re-macro up and walk the line between building army and building probes. Yeah, that was very cool, and I think we have a clear winner for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed watching this match as this DT blinks around, go ahead, click that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below saying more bots, and if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member. But I believe that is everything. If you're a bot author, send in your replays to be cast, and I probably will get around to it. And yeah, that is going to be that for this one. As everything gets cleaned on up here, Sharkbot building a cannon line as it does so often. Yeah, 27Turtles all of a sudden having its chat just spam out. That is quite the spam right there. No spam, 27Turtles. But yeah, that is going to be it for this one. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. I did just want to kind of note that it was interesting how 27Turtles did have that mineral bank, and then it stopped building units. Maybe that was part of the bug of not building Vikings or something. But that could have very well have contributed to it, losing this game and losing that fight. Who knows, though. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.